these fans, these supporters at Manchester United like this. The way this fan base has been treated so far in this transfer window has been a complete and utter disgrace from this football club. I cannot believe the way we've all been treated. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Good evening to all you legends, good evening to all you legendary people. Welcome back to the channel. First of all, do me a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and the community if you are new. Then share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and to always remember put that notification bell on all times receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for more Fortnite, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 Career Mode, F1 23, and much more brand new stuff planned for the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. So please subscribe to the channel and the community if you are new. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to all you legends. Good evening to everybody in the live chat. Good evening to everybody on this planet. And welcome to our weekly assessment review of Manchester United's 2023 summer transfer window so far, which has been a complete, utter nightmare. There's been a complete disgrace. And for me, another clear back plan that another manager is being thrown under the bus, not just by the board, not just by the Glazers, but Manchester United Football Club itself. So far, Man United, the transfer window has been open 2 weeks, and so far have done absolutely fuck all and basically brought in an overrated English midfielder in Mason Mount that the hype train has now got on. The hype train is well overboard, and the hype train can't take any more passengers because the train has got full capacity on its coaches, hyping this deal up like it's the next big thing. And 2 weeks, the transfer window has been opened. We are on the week 2 review of this transfer window so far. And for me, this transfer window has been a joke from day one. There's been no clear plan. There's been no structure of what's going on. There's been no clear plan A, plan B, plan C. Man United have got a clear plan in mind. Is to sack another manager, throw another manager under the bus, and basically fail to deliver the manager the players he wants, the deadwood that he wants sold, and basically get him the sack within 3 years. Just like they did with Mourinho, they did it to Solskjaer, and they got rid of Ralf Rangnick within a year. And for me, this has been the clear plan by the Glazers, by the board of Man United that are failing this manager, throwing him under the bus, and basically conceding him with the sack being inevitable. And I think, in my opinion now, I think it would be in everyone's best interests, everyone's best hopes and beliefs that I think Erik ten Hag should walk away from Manchester United. I think so far he has not been backed. He's not been given the players he wants. And especially with all those blue tick people on Twitter, in certain journalists protecting Manchester United, like Ben Jacobs, Laurie Whitwell, Simon Stone, James Ducker, Duncan Castles, Laurie Whitwell, I'm getting sick to death of these journalists absolutely pinpointing the complete crap that they dig out of their ass on Twitter to basically protect the Glazers, protect this board, and basically let Manchester United get away with clear, utter incompetence time and time again. This is completely and utterly unacceptable. The transfer window has been open 2 weeks. Manchester United have got no number one goalkeeper. We've got no backup CDM. We need a right back. We need another centre back. We need 2 world-class strikers. We need another attacking midfielder. We need another winger. And basically, all they've delivered so far is Mason Mount. For me, a complete reject Chelsea no longer wanted, a reject that Chelsea didn't want anymore, and basically got the best price they could, even though Chelsea have got the best deal because they're going to go and splash that money on Moises Caicedo, and because Caicedo looks like he's going to be a Chelsea player within the next few days, and Man United are sat there twiddling their thumbs, trying to know what to do in the next few days of the transfer window. And if anyone's seen the hot shot horror that Laurie Whitwell spat out on Twitter earlier on this evening, that Man United are no longer going for Rasmus Højlund because the price is apparently too high. Man United apparently now can't afford a new number one goalkeeper. They can't afford a striker. And apparently the rumours are now that Mason Mount is going to be the only signing that Man United sign this summer. For me, to sign one new player with us back in the Champions League, where we're probably going to get our ass kicked in the group stage and probably knocked back into the Europa League again, that is unacceptable backing for a manager that's not been delivered the signings he wants. Ten Hag came here with a clear plan and a clear vision. is to get Man United back up to number one. We are no clear to number one because Man City are after players like Hakimi. They're also after Declan Rice. Arsenal after Declan Rice, they're getting Jurrien Timber. Liverpool have got Szoboszlai and getting him. Chelsea are getting Caicedo. Tottenham have signed James Maddison. And basically, all Man United have done within 2 weeks is sign Mason Mount. For me, that's not acceptable. Man United should have had a clear plan as soon as they lost that FA Cup final to Manchester City. There was no plan. There's been no clear vision. And basically, the manager's probably sat there, scratched his head thinking right now, why did I take the Man United job? And I don't blame him. I think so far, he's been thrown to the wolves. He's been thrown to the weeds. He's been basically thrown to the pack of lions chasing after him because he's turned into a complete pigeon who needs to find a way out of the trouble because he's being chased by a complete herd of lions. And unfortunately, Ten Hag can't get out of the scrap. He can't get out of the trouble he's in. And I think Ten Hag is on the verge of being sacked here because at the moment, 2 weeks of a transfer window, no clear plan, no clear vision. And if the rumours tonight that Man United are using financial fair play again to get away with their complete and utter incompetence, Man United have got no transfer window vision at all. They're going to milk the Mason Mount deal. They are going to milk that for a whole week. We go on pre-season tour, then less than a week and a half, and we've got Mason Mount. We've got no number one goalkeeper. Rasmus Højlund hasn't been delivered. Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, Adrien Rabiot, all priority players that Ten Hag wanted, and Man United have said no to every single player. And I think the manager did deserve to be backed in the summer transfer window. We massively overachieved last season, getting Champions League football, finishing in the top four and actually winning the trophy that basically stopped Manchester City winning the quadruple. And Man United are back to square number one all over again in less than a few months. We are back to square number one again, just like we were under Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick. Man United are in big, big trouble here. Next season hasn't even started yet, and it looks like next season is over before we've even kicked a ball. We are nearly a month away from Premier League football returning. We're in July now. We are nearly in August, and we have signed hardly anyone to improve this current team, this current squad, and Ten Hag has not been backed. Clear signs so far. This manager in the third year is going to be sacked by the Glazers. The board are going to deal the ultimate blow to the manager. Ten Hag will be gone. The circle of life will repeat itself all over again. You might as well get Elton John on stage to sing the song from the Lion King film. The circle of life is the history's repeating itself. It's just like Harry Potter finding out that the Chamber of Secrets had been reopened again in the second Harry Potter series. And for me, that isn't fair. It really, really isn't fair that we are doing this time and time again to every single manager that we employ at this football club. They want players, they want certain squad members, and they want half this deadwood to be cleared. The reason Man United are using financial fair play as an excuse, which isn't acceptable. Man United have got no financial fair play issues. And I'm sick of those journalists I mentioned in Ben Jacobs, Laurie Whitwell, Simon Stone, James Ducker, Duncan Castles. I'm absolutely sick to death of them protecting this football club because they are all on the payroll for Manchester United. They want to get their jobs protected, and they are absolutely bricking it when hopefully the Qataris buy out Manchester United and give the Glazers what they want and the $6 billion that they value the club at, apparently, which is a massive, massive oversight of what the football club needs to be done to it. And I think the Qataris need to hurry up now because another transfer window is going beyond the winds of gravity. We are falling off the face of the earth, and Man United yet again are probably going to crumble next season. And I dread what's going to happen in the Champions League. I think the Carabao Cup defence will be gone. We won't last long in the FA Cup. And as for the UEFA Champions League, forget that happening because progress will not be made in that either. And unfortunately, the signs of fairy tale signs are there that, Ten Hag is severely frustrated. A source who works close to Manchester United has told me that Ten Hag is on the verge of resigning because he feels that he deserves to be backed. He deserves that he needs players to improve this squad. And he hasn't been given them. He wanted Harry Kane. Man United said, we're not paying over 100 million. He wanted Victor Osimhen. Man United said no. He wanted Adrien Rabiot. Man United refused to give Rabiot the wages he wanted. And Rasmus Højlund, according to Laurie Whitwell on Twitter tonight, basically has stated that We are not going to pay anywhere near the fee Atalanta want for Rasmus Højlund, even though Rasmus Højlund wants to move to Manchester United. He wants to move to happen this summer. He wants to leave Atalanta and he wants to come to the club. And Man United are apparently now prioritising other strikers because apparently the budget restrictions are there in place for the manager. And the only bit of money we've got left at the moment is 60 million. That is nowhere near enough to improve that team. You cannot get a striker and a goalkeeper for 60 million. Man United are crying out for a new number one goalkeeper. And if the rumours are true, according to Laurie Whitwell on Twitter, that apparently if David De Gea does not come back, Dean Henderson's move to Nottingham Forest will not be sanctioned. Dean Henderson will become the new number one goalkeeper. And Tom Heaton, who wants to move to Luton and Everton, Man United have said no, because apparently Tom Heaton will now become the backup, and apparently Man United might not sign a new number one goalkeeper at all. And all they'll do is bring in a backup to De Gea, and David De Gea's contract will be renewed, even though it ran out at midnight last night. They'll bring David De Gea back, they'll renew his contract, and basically keep David De Gea again next season. And Man United will fall further and further behind again because Ten Hag does not trust De Gea. He doesn't trust his ability with the ball. He can't trust his skills. He can't deal with his professionalism. And David De Gea, for me, yeah, he's a club legend, but some fans need to stop crying about David De Gea. David De Gea was at fault for half of Man United's faults and errors last season, and people have sat there crying about it that Man United have not renewed his contract. For me, yes, he's a legend of the club. Yes, it's been dealt very, very badly, but I don't know what anyone expects. You need to clear the dead wood to make the squad better. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. With Manscaped, that is what you need to do. Trim the squad to make the team look better. That is what should have been happening, and we've not delivered. We have not delivered, and we are entering week number 3 next week, where we will do another weekly assessment of the transfer window again, because we are now going to be doing weekly assessments. This is unacceptable. I'm sat there frustrated. I'm sat there angry with Manchester United. I'm basically sat here with a complete and utter wally brains that are running this club into the ground, delaying the sale of the football club. And you've got a board in John Murtagh and Richard Arnold high-fiving each other about how well they handled the Mason Mount deal. Those two couldn't rewrite the Space Jam movie, Space Jam 2 with LeBron James. That is how bad negotiations have been. Man United did not stick to their task of 55 million for the Mason Mount deal. Man United ended up overpaying again for a midfielder that can't even get in the England squad now. All the fan base is now singing and dancing about Mason Mount becoming a Man United player. Everyone is literally getting their dicks out about it, saying, oh, what a great player he's going to become at Man United. He's hardly kicked a ball for Chelsea. He was injury prone for most of last season with 3 or 4 separate injuries. And Lampard didn't use him. Graham Potter didn't use him because Chelsea refused to give him a new contract. He wanted over 200 grand a week. And apparently we're now paying Mason Mount over near 300 grand a week to play for Man United next season. For me, I would not sanction this deal now. I would call the deal off and cancel the Mason Mount deal altogether. For me, I'm not excited. It doesn't get me buzzing. I'm not going to sing and song and dance about it because Mason Mount, the only thing he's good at is mounting a lamppost because he's basically sat on the bench for Chelsea most of last season. Man United have given in to Chelsea's demands, have caved in, and basically Man United have overspent. And with only 120 million in the budget, we can't afford a number one goalkeeper. The striker option apparently is the priority now instead of the number one goalkeeper. And we are getting linked with Kevin Trapp if I track Frankfurt. You're getting linked with the Feyenoord goalkeeper. How the hell does that get you excited? Feyenoord goalkeeper and Eintracht Frankfurt. How the fuck does that get anyone excited off their feet for this fan base? That is not going to cover the situation, the goalkeeping crisis Man United have now found themselves in. So we've gone from the optimism that Onana might happen from Inter Milan, and apparently due to financial fair play bollocks that Man United have constantly been using as an excuse all summer transfer window long, we are getting away with yet another bad transfer window, and the manager is severely frustrated. And if Erik ten Hag resigns tomorrow, which I really hope he does for the sake of the club and going to protect his reputation that Erik ten Hag deserves, because at the end of the day, he was brought in to get this club back to number one. We are not even close to being number one in the fucking UK singles or albums charts. We are so far away from everyone around us because every team around Man United at the moment are strengthening them in every position. Liverpool are on to their second player. Arsenal have spent over 200 million on 3 players. Chelsea are getting Caicedo. Tottenham have got James Maddison. What have Man United done? We've signed Mason Mount and basically let Phil Jones and Axel Tuanzebe go. Apparently, half the United squad is up for sale, including Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Telles, Dean Henderson, Tom Heaton. David De Gea's contract's not been renewed, so he's no longer a Manchester United player. Obviously, we are now not paying his wage either, but it wouldn't surprise me now that to solve the goalkeeping situation and the crisis we're in, it wouldn't be surprised if we get back on the phone to De Gea. We sit down face-to-face negotiations. We give him a new contract. We keep him at the club. We sell Dean Henderson. We get rid of Tom Heaton. And they then go and buy a backup number 1 goalkeeper to be the backup to De Gea. But that does not get me excited. I'm sorry. You need to be giving the manager his number 1 priorities. Man United this summer should have given Erik ten Hag an unlimited budget, knowing being back in the Champions League was going to be a massive difference from playing Europa League Thursday night Mickey Mouse competition music, because at the end of the day, the Europa League and the Champions League are a completely different kettle of fish. And the board and the owners that run this club in the ground are expecting Erik ten Hag to go with the same squad he went with last season. And with the same squad we've hardly now got, because we've now lost De Gea. We've got no Phil Jones. Tuanzebe's been released. Phil Jones should have been sold years ago. And with now players being up for sale we can't get rid of, United are getting the financial fair play issues out again, making us feel sorry for them and getting their violin out, thinking, let's all feel sorry for Man United because they're struggling. I could give a shit if they're struggling financially. At the end of the day, you can't keep using that as an excuse just to fuck up another manager's hopes, because this is what you did to every manager before. You didn't back them and you sacked them, and then we went round the circle over and over and over again. We're basically turning into a big fucking massive roundabout, and the car we're in, we keep going round and round and round and round that roundabout, and we can't find the nearest junction to get off at. That is the problem at Manchester United. There is no clear plan. There is no clear vision. And I'm absolutely sick of these journalists protecting them. It's not fair on the fans. It's not fair on the supporters. The mental health you're causing, the anxiety you're causing, and the depression that you're making this fan base feel basically physically and mentally sick because of the constant crap that you are throwing out to all your journalists that are all on the payroll at Man United. They are not journalists. They are people that report bull crap to make the fans and supporters feel sorry for Man United's woes. At the end of the day, I couldn't give a fuck if they're struggling. Man United really should have spent the money in January. You nearly, in my opinion, people tell me you want 8, 9, 10 new players. Man United have got to sell to buy. I completely disagree. Man United do not need to sell to buy this summer. It's complete fairy tales. It's complete bullcrap. And it's complete myth that Man United need to sell players before bringing them in, because they're quite happy, right, spending 60 million on Mason Mount. And apparently now, according to Laurie Whitwell on Twitter, well, Man United might not be able to get Onana. We might have to go look for other options, because apparently Ten Hag wants 2 goalkeepers. He wants a new number 1 and he wants a backup. Well, I'm sorry. Onana needs to be brought in. Go and give Inter Milan what they fucking want and get Onana in its football club, especially according to Fabrizio Romano that Man United got the green light given by Onana last night for him to come to the football club. And now you're looking at it from a bigger point of view. If Onana wants to come to Man United, Inter Milan and Man United need to sit down tonight and get that deal done. There is no excuse for not giving the manager the number 1 goalkeeper priority target to sign for Man United. If Ten Hag wants Onana and he wants rid of De Gea and Dean Henderson and Tom Heaton, you have to obey to the manager's orders. People tell me, oh, Erik ten Hag's got too much power. He doesn't deserve to be telling what everyone else what to do. What do you expect Erik ten Hag to do? You're basically expecting him to go with Maguire and De Gea, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro, Eriksen, Fernandes, Rashford, Garnacho, Martial. It wouldn't surprise me at the moment if Man United go back for Marcel Sabitzer and they go back for Weghorst. People are moaning that Man United should go and get Sabitzer. Apparently, he's injury prone and missed half the results last season and missed half the games. Well, I'm sorry. Marcel Sabitzer is 10 times better than Fred, and he's 10 times better than McTominay. And fans are now moaning, saying, well, Fred needs to be kept. McTominay needs to be sold. Both of them are completely both as shit as each other, and fans are moaning that Sabitzer doesn't do a job for United. He's too injury prone. Sabitzer had more of an impact in that midfield last season than what McTominay and Fred have done for the last 3 fucking years. And you're telling me, well, McTominay needs to be kept, Fred needs to be sold. Sell both of them because they're both as fucking useless as each other. They don't do the job that Ten Hag is wanting in that midfield. And you're telling to basically go with it again next season when neither player are good enough to run a fucking marathon. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, this club needs to start being ruthless. If certain clubs want a certain amount of money for that player, go and give them the money they want. If Onana is the number one goalkeeper priority target for Ten Hag, United have got to deliver him this week. We've got a tour game on the 12th of July against Leeds, and we've hardly got a team because the amount of players we have let go this summer already. And Man United are way behind every single rival at the moment because of their clear and utter incompetence from this board and from these owners. They don't want to back the manager. Ten Hag must be sat there deeply pissed off, and I would not blame him if he walked away from Man United and said enough's enough, because the mess this club is getting itself into time and time again. We are not learning from our mistakes of the past, that we are doing the same old bullcrap year after year of not backing this manager who actually deserves it, because he gets what we want. He gets the fans, he gets the supporters, and we're all sat there being moaned at and are being accused of, Man United fans, they don't have a clue. They're all hysterical. They don't have a clue about football. We watch this pile of shit week in, week out, every single fucking game. And people are telling us, Man United fans, they always moan. They're all negative. They all moan about the same problems over and over again. I don't care if we moan. It's because we've got passion to show that we actually give a shit about this club. And you're telling me, we moan too much. Stop moaning. Stop whinging. The manager has been backed. They overspent in the summer. Yeah, could you imagine where we would have been now without Anthony? Could you imagine where we would be without Casemiro? And you're telling the Man United fan base to stop moaning. I'm sorry, this manager deserved to be back this summer. He's got us back where we wanted to be. And the Glazers, what they're doing is they're continuing to be the complete and utter useless cunts that they are, the useless American twats that they've become. And they're basically stating, because we're selling a club, we're not going to invest. We're not going to back the manager. We're going to throw him under the bus like we did with all the managers before. We're going to fail him. We'll sack him in a few years and give him the payoff, but at least we haven't got to listen to his orders and demands anymore. And the problem is, the manager deserves, in my opinion, to be backed because we have overachieved. In season 1 of his management, we overachieved. We don't deserve to be in the Champions League. We did deserve to win the Carabao Cup. We're not even anywhere near the level where we should be. And you're telling me, Ten Hag has got to go with the same squad again. I completely disagree. You need to improve the current squad of before to make the team better. And without signing Rasmus Højlund, we've got no striker. Martial is injury prone, needs to be sold this summer. Martial needs to be sold. And it wouldn't surprise me if they end up going back for Weghorst as a short-term option. Well, I'm sorry, why? Why should we go back for fucking Weghorst when he's a complete and utter load of dog shit? He's a complete bag of useless cement shit. He can't do fuck all for the club. Scored, 2 goals in 20 appearances? And people are saying, why don't we go and get Weghorst back on a loan? Why don't we go to Burnley and try and do a deal with Burnley? No, we need better than Weghorst. Weghorst was a shit shining. We should have went nowhere near Weghorst. And apparently you want him over Marcel Sabitzer. Well, I suggest go and watch half those United performances from last season and saw the impact that Sabitzer actually had in that team, because he did more than what Weghorst did in 20 fucking appearances. And I'm utterly sick of it. There's no positivity coming out of this club tonight. Yet again, they're ruining everyone's weekend for them, even though they're not playing. They're not playing in a game. They're not kicking a ball. But they know how to fuck everyone off who supports this most historical and legendary football club. They know how to fuck everybody off and ruin their weekend for them. And I don't think, in my opinion, it's fair that this fan base deserves the kind of treatment we are getting off every single member of that board, those owners who don't give one fuck about this club, don't give a shit about the fans, don't give a shit about the supporters, and we are exactly back in the same fucking mess we were in under Rangnick. We didn't give him the players he want, and Rangnick was dismissed because he called it out, saying the team doesn't need cosmetic surgery, it needs open heart surgery, because he saw how shit that Man United team was, and he called it out for what it is. I wish Ralph Rangnick was still here now, because I tell you what, we might not have signed Mason Mount. We would have probably signed 3 or 4 players for the 60 million that we've chucked on a useless bag as a cement mount. I can't believe it doesn't surprise me that we're doing this, though. It does not surprise me. Man United are manipulating everyone again. What angers me the most is that there's loads of Man United fans that want the Glazers out, that want the board sacked. And you're seeing them in and out of Old Trafford buying the new kit. And that is part of the problem with this fan base as well, that the supporters, like half of them are Glazers out, but still go and buy the kit, still buy the shirt and still buy the merchandise. That is not a true Man United fan. If you want the Glazers gone and you want the board sacked, you don't buy the kit, you don't buy the shirt, and you don't buy the merchandise. You need to be sat down and fucking educated about what it is to be a Man United fan. Because really, you should be putting your foot down, saying no, not giving in to fucking temptation of going to buy the shirt. The home shirt, yeah, I get it's a nice kit, but I've not brought it. I've put my foot down again for this season. I'm not putting a single penny in to this club again until those leeches are removed from this club, because the more mess we got ourselves into, the more chances the Glazers are going to stay. And if they're not removed by the end of at least July, we are in big trouble heading in for the rest of the transfer window, because so far, the first 2 weeks has been complete and utter dog shit. Mason Mount, I mean, fucking hell. And now we're not paying for Rasmus Højlund with Atalanta wanting 80, 90 odd million. I'm sorry that if Rasmus Højlund wants to leave Atalanta, he has to put a transfer request in. He wants to move to Man United. Even Fabrizio Romano has said it. Every other journalist has said Rasmus Højlund wants to move to Manchester United this summer. But Man United, according to Larry Whitwell, we're not going to spend the type of money that it's going to cost to bring Rasmus Højlund in. So Man United are now looking at other options. Why are we going for short-term options again? That's like bringing back Weghorst on a permanent basis. And it wouldn't surprise me if we end up doing that, because it's the only option Man United have got. And people are saying, why don't you go for that Taremi from FC Porto? That is not the type of player that Man United should go anywhere fucking near with a bullet. I'm sorry. Wake up and face reality that Man United need world-class bench and they need a world-class lineup. We need to do what Man City are doing. We need to sign the type of players they have got. You look at every position in that Man City team. It's got world-class elite players in every fucking position. And at Man United, you've got McTominay and Fred. You've basically got a McDonald's main menu item in that midfield because they're McFred. And that's the problem. We don't have that world-class ability to attract the best players, even though we're back in the Champions League. I knew we were looking at Jude Bellingham. Man United said no, because Man United did not want to overpay. Man United did not want to pay the type of fee Real Madrid wanted, Borussia Dortmund wanted for Jude Bellingham. And Real Madrid have been ruthless and gone and got him like that. Paid up, they've coughed up, and they've got Jude Bellingham in a Real Madrid shirt. Man United should have done that. We should go for Frankie de Jong. Man United need to spend 500 to 600 million. I was told, someone close to Man United on Twitter told me the other night, Man United have got 500 to 600 million. The Glazers just don't want to spend it. And apparently there's only 120 million. Well, what the fuck is that going to do for this summer? What is 120 million meant to do on this team when you've spent 60 million on Mason Mount and apparently we can't afford Onana? If Milan want to do the deal, Man United want to do the deal. Man United want Onana. So does Erik Ten Hag, but apparently we're now looking at other options. But why? Why are we looking at other options when you should be getting the manager his first choice options? This is why we are failing, because you're looking at the options of players the managers want. And Man United saying, no, 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 no. We're not paying that. We're not paying that. And forget that happening, Eric. We are not backing you. We are not going to give you any money. And this is the bloody problem. Man United are going to use sell to buy all fucking summer. It could take weeks and weeks to get a goalkeeper. It could take weeks to get a striker. But if they're not going to get it for Rasmus Højlund, go back in for Harry Kane then. I'm sorry, if you're refusing to get Rasmus Højlund, go and get Harry Kane and fucking overpay. Because that's the striker the manager actually fucking crying out for. But Man United, no, we're not doing that either. It cost 100 million. No, we ain't doing that, Eric. What's the plan then? What's the plan for this season, for next season? What's the clear plan? Fail the manager again and sack him in the third year, like we did with Van Gaal, like we did with Mourinho, like we did with Solskjaer. Is the plan, clear plan, just to sack all our managers and prove that our incompetence is getting the best of us every single time? The board at Man United are so incompetent. They're an absolute circus. It is such a joke on wheels. We're basically turned into a fucking Mickey Mouse Orlando resort. That is how bad this situation's getting. 2 weeks has been wasted doing fuck all. And fans like me are called out for the honesty, for the pure and utter honesty that we call the club out, and people don't fucking like it. If you don't like it, don't support the club, because you're clearly not getting what we're trying to get. That we're being honest about the situation Man United are getting themselves into over and over again, and we don't change. We've got crap negotiators, we've got a crap squad, we've got a crap team of players, and unfortunately, we are not solving the mess we are in again. 2 weeks of a transfer window, and Man United apparently are now prioritising the striker over the goalkeeper. It just doesn't make any sense what we're trying to do. You should, if Ten Hag wants a goalkeeper, you get him a goalkeeper and a striker, not one or the other. You deliver both. Man United, you'll do as you're fucking told. You will obey to the manager's orders. You will not get away with this anymore. This isn't fair. You can't do this. You've got no right treating us like this. You've got no right treating Erik Ten Hag like this when he's basically proving that your incompetence is actually costing him, which it has all fucking ready. Because did you see January? Did you see that transfer window shambolic it was? It's just the same crap over and over again, and the fan base gets accused of being hysterical. It's because they don't like it that we call out John Murtagh, we call out Richard Arnold, and all those six Glazers are complete useless wankers. They deserve abuse that they get. I'm sorry. They absolutely deserve every bit of shit that the Glazers get put under by this fan base, because this fan base is right. These are the problem for 18 fucking years of complete and utter mess from American owners that have ran a club into the ground and have not invested one single penny ever since they purchased the club. It should have never, ever been allowed to happen. And look at the mess we're in. Man United, £725 million in debt. We're only like 275 million away from being $1 billion in debt. That ain't helping. But the club makes too much profit. It makes too much revenue. So we've got no worries about administration or liquidation. We ain't got nothing to worry about that. But the transfer window, if Man United have got to take loans out and you've got to buy players that the manager wants, you're just going to have to do whatever's best. And you're going to have to hope that the Qataris are in by the end of next week, because if another week drags on and there's nothing happening, I dread what's going to happen next season. Like, we're only a month away from football returning. We're literally a month away now from United kicking off their new season. And then what have we done in this transfer window? What have we actually done? What are we actually achieving? I don't get it. And Billerman Aldecroix in the chat, please, is Andre Onana on his way already? Well, apparently no. Apparently we're now not getting Onana. Apparently we are now not getting him, because apparently Man United can't afford a striker and they can't afford a goalkeeper. And I completely agree with you. Is he on his way? I would like to hope so, that Man United is sat with Inter Milan right now trying to do a deal. But I agree with your opinion. Onana should have been on his way now. We've got no goalkeeper. And that's what worries me long term. That is what worries me. I completely agree. Is Onana on his way? I would like to hope so. But at the moment, Man United have got no clue. But I agree with your view, and I agree with your point you've put in the live chat. And please subscribe if you're new, by the way, Billerman in the chat. I really like the name Billerman. That's actually a really, really cool name. I completely agree that Onana, the deal really should have been done yesterday. Man United should have put a bid in for Onana last night. And now we're sat here with no number one goalkeeper. You can't say Tom Heaton's a number one goalkeeper. You can't use Dean Henderson as a number one either. Both don't want to be at the club. Both have upset Ten Hag this last season. I've been told that Dean Henderson and Ten Hag had a major bust-up. By someone close to United told me that there was a major bust-up between Dean Henderson and Erik Ten Hag, and that is why Dean Henderson was reluctantly sold to Nottingham Forest on loan. Man United should have sold Dean Henderson then. We might have actually had a bit more money. And the problem is Man United can use financial fair play as much as they want, but you can't use that as an excuse all summer long. You have got money sat there ready to spend. You just don't want to spend it. And I think it was Bloomberg on Twitter, who's a blue tick, that said Man United have actually got 260 million to spend this summer. But apparently due to financial fair play bollocks, Man United haven't got that. They've only got 120 million because of financial fair play. I'm absolutely sick of it. I am absolutely sick to death of Man United using that. That is not an excuse not to spend money. It's not an excuse. It really, really isn't an excuse. You can't keep using that all summer to get away with another bad transfer window, because it's been bad enough already. Week number 2, and there's still no optimism. There's still no hope, and there's no belief in me. I think next season's already over. I'm come to terms already that we're a month away from football returning. United kick off in less than a month. We've got pre-season coming up against Leeds in our first game in 2 weeks, and we've got no team. We've got no squad, got no players, we've got no number one goalkeeper. Onana isn't here. Harry Kane isn't here. Declan Rice, Man United should have gone in for. Every player that Man United are linked with, Man United have turned down. Imagine if the Qataris win now, we might have had Kane, we might have had Rasmus Højlund, we might have had a new number one goalkeeper, we might have had a centre-back. Players like Maguire, McTominay might have been sold, but at the moment, it's not looking very good, is it? From a Man United fan point of view, you think things can't get worse. I guarantee I think they can. I think things are going to get a lot worse in this next week. And if the rumours are true that Laurie Whitwell is saying on Twitter that Man United can't afford Rasmus Højlund and they're not going to go for him, who's the striker then? Who's the striker option then? Don't dare let it be that FC Porto striker Taremi. Don't they dare go for him as the short-term option up front. If that is what we go for and he's our striker next season, God forbid what's going to happen. I honestly dread where this football club is going to be. If we're sat here in a year's time, Ten Hag's gone, we're looking for another manager and the Glazers are still in charge of the football club and the Qataris don't buy us, then Man United are in a big spot of bother with protests. They're in a big spot of fan anger and supporters' anger. And they don't realise the consequences that the fans and the supporters will do to this club. And I encourage fans to protest every day. Forget college, forget school, forget university, forget your jobs. I think there's bigger fish to fry at the moment than doing your loyalty to your education. I think football clubs have to come first over education. I think education is a complete and utter fucking waste of time anyway. You don't get anything out of education anyway. School got me nowhere, college got me nowhere, and I've been completely fine since then. I think, you should be protesting every day at Old Trafford. If you need to get into Old Trafford again, do it. If you get games called off, do it. Get games abandoned, get games postponed, break into Old Trafford. Something has got to happen now before it's just too late, because United could be up the creek without a paddle. This is how bad it could get. And I think it will. I think this is going to get a lot worse before this gets any better. And I think the one that will face the consequences will be Erik Ten Hag. He's having to go with a squad again that ain't good enough. This team on paper, if you look at it and the players they got, those players should be delivering. But last season told that squad was tired. It was knackered. It was fatigued. It was exhausted. But they can't use that as an excuse. These are professional footballers, for goodness sake. But I'm tired of Twitter. I just think these journalists need to stop protecting Man United. I know they're on the payroll and they want their job to be protected and they don't want to fear the sack once the Glazers are gone. But why can't you call them out? Why don't we sell the likes of Alanga, McTominay, Martial, Van der Beek, Maguire and Fred? Because Man United can't get rid of them, of the wage they're on and the fee the club are demanding for the player. That's the big problem. Bang on to the point again. And this is what I like about your comments. You're bang on to the point. You're bang on to your view. You're bang on to your opinion that Man United need to be doing stuff like that in the comments you're putting. They need to sell players like that to regenerate any money into the club. And the problem is they're not fucking doing it because they're getting away with their same old excuses to basically underline what the manager wants and is desperate for. And that is some kind of backing. And I don't think he is. The manager ain't being backed. On paper, I'm looking at it from a logical point of view that this manager is not getting backed. If he was being backed by now, we might have been in a better situation with this transfer window. We are not in a transfer window. There's no optimism. There is no hope. And I think the fans and the supporters are going to suffer in the long term. And I think results will tell on the pitch. I think if you don't back the manager now, you don't get a new number one goalkeeper. You don't go and get a striker. I honestly think it wouldn't surprise me. They'll go back for Sabitzer. They'll go back for Weghorst. And players like that you've mentioned in the chat, we need to get rid of. They'll probably keep. That is a big, big problem for me. And if they've got players like that on the payroll next season, I dread long term that we won't be able to get rid of them. We need to sell all those players you've mentioned in that live chat, that comment. We do need to sell them. But the problem is Man United can't sell them because of the wages they're on and the type of money they are demanding for a sale. And the problem is Man United have done this themselves. They have shot themselves in the foot again. And the thing is, United can milk the Mason Mount deal all you want, but you need to be signing players tonight. You need to go and get this Onana deal done. Fuck the finances. If Onana is going to cost you 60 million, you're just going to have to find a way of getting a striker. And if it's Rasmus Højlund or nothing, we have got to do the deal. Just go and give Atalanta what they fucking want. And United have got to do something because people are going to see that on Twitter from Laurie Whitwell, Ben Jacobs, Duncan Castles, Simon Stone, James Ducker. They're all protecting this club this season. They're doing it in a summer that there was so much hope. There was so much optimism that the fans and supporters are going to get what they want. And what the Glazers are doing, they're feeding every journalist that's on the payroll in the press conferences on Twitter who've got blue ticks next to them. They're filling all them in with a load of crap to make this fan base absolutely shit itself because they know the Glazers are creating another mess. And all those pundits and journalists alike are sat there laughing with them because they think Man United fans are the best thing in the world. We are the best supported club in the world, by the way, with fans and supporters. We are the best supported club in the world by fan base and supporters this Manchester United have. But at the moment, if this situation was to get worse by the end of this season or next, fans like me are not going to stand by the club. We'll walk away. We'll stop supporting them. We'll go and support a proper run club that run a club properly and actually have some kind of fucking ambition to get back to the top. Because at the moment, teams like Luton Town, Brentford and Bournemouth have got more ambition than Man United have. More ambition of winning games, bringing players in and actually backing their managers. What are Man United doing? Jobs for the boys, mates rates FC, go with the same squad you've got already and see what happens in this season. I'm sorry, no, I'm not having that. That's not acceptable. That's another massive red flag to Manchester United again. You can't keep doing this. You must sit there and absolutely piss your pants with the fan base sat there shitting itself because at the moment you're fucking me off. You're not just ruining every day, you're ruining every week, you're ruining every weekend because fans like me have been stressed up because of your incompetence to actually buy players. Fans are getting excited about this manager and his plans for the top. But when you've got muppets like the Glazers and John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold, there ain't no hope. There isn't no hope. There is no hope for them. I'm sorry. It infuriates me, and I'm doing weekly assessments now of this transfer window because at the end of the day, United have got a job. They've got a responsibility. They've got an obligation to back this manager. Because if Erik ten Hag was to walk away tomorrow and he resigned as manager, I don't think Man United would know what to do. They would probably get an interim in to get the Man United through the transfer window. They would probably not sanction the Mason Mount deal and call it off. They'd probably have to relist every player that the new incoming coach would want and don't want. And Man United would be in a complete mess because there's just no leadership. There's no quality. There is simply staff there who are loyal to Man United and now fearing for their job because of the Glazers, because they don't know what's happening regarding the ownership. And unfortunately, welcome to the world of being a Man United fan. Fans should not be stressed. Do you know how physically this is making me feel ill? Do you not know the damage Man United are doing to me? Because it's making me feel so bad inside because I care about this club. I care about all you Man United fans. I care about all of you supporters. But are fans and supporters willing to giving up their season tickets and renewing their memberships? Are they willing to give up not buying the kit, buying the shirt, buying the merchandise? Are fans willing to give all of that up? Because I've put my foot firmly down for 2 seasons in a row now. And this is going to be the 2nd season in a row that I'm doing it. I'm not spending any money on the club because they don't deserve it. They really, really don't, because I'm sick of the backing this manager is not getting. I'm utterly sick of it. I'm utterly inflamed. I'm furious. I'm angry. I'm really frustrated the way Man United have handled this transfer window. There's been no clear plan since that FA Cup final defeat. Ever since we lost to Man City and they went on won the treble, what has happened since then? We've basically reject that Chelsea no longer wanted. That reminded me of the Matic deal over and over again. We brought Matic from Chelsea and it all went wrong. Mason Mount vibes are in that. Sorry, but they are. Mason Mount will flop at United. He ain't going to have no quality, no passion, no design, no style. Mason Mount will not improve United on its own. I'm sorry. I hope this signing goes badly. I hope we realise we've overpaid for a Chelsea reject in the next few days. And Man United all week are going to milk Mason Mount. Oh, look at our new shiny toy. Look who we've brought in. Look at us walking in. Look at us walking in like a boss, Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh. Look what we've brought. Look at Mason Mount and United. Look how fucking sick he looks. You can milk it as much as you want. Am I falling for it? No. Because I'm not that gullible to fall for your shit. And if the Qataris do come in, all them need sacking. The whole board, we need a complete clear out from top to bottom of this club. Not just with staff, but with the team and this squad. And if it's not done, I think all hell will break loose. If the Qataris don't come in, the Glazers stay, and Mason Mount apparently might be the only summer signing, God help us next season, because teams around us will probably annihilate Man United on and off the pitch. We're being embarrassed by them already in the transfer window because everyone around us is buying players. So there's no reason why not Man United don't spend money. They've got 60 million sat there. Oh, we can't afford Onana. Can't do that. We can't afford Rasmus Højlund. No, we're not paying that either. Who's the options then? Because don't it dare be Kevin Trapp from Eintracht Frankfurt. Don't it dare be that final goalkeeper. It has to be Onana. You have to deliver the number one choice. And don't even dare think about bringing De Gea back. That time is gone. He may be a club legend. Yes, the way Man United have handled it has been a complete disgrace. They've treated De Gea really, really badly because he is a club legend. But we need to get over it now. He's not a Man United player. But it wouldn't surprise me this week coming up, they get on the phone to De Gea. De Gea, please come back. Please come back. We've got no goalkeeper. We'll give you the wages we want. You maybe not be the number one, but we're going to go and get no goalkeeper, but you'll be on the up. No, I'm sorry. No. De Gea needs to go. All those goalkeepers need to go. Tom Heaton should be at Man United. Dean Henderson should be at Man United. I'm thinking maybe if the fans can promise not to buy live match tickets, the Glazers will do something about it. The Glazers don't give a shit, mate. The Glazers don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about anyone except the money that's rolling in their pockets. They don't give a fuck. If they gave a fuck, we'd be a better football club, but we're not. We are going to be in a complete incompetent club Man United have always been for 18 fucking years due to the Glazer mess we are in. But I agree with your comment. I'm thinking maybe if the fans can promise not to buy live match tickets, the Glazer will do something. Not a chance. I would like to think that that could happen, my friend, and I completely agree with your comment and your view. But as long as the Glazers don't give a shit, they're going to be sat there laughing, and they're probably laughing now. But at the end of the day, this fan base isn't going anywhere. these supporters are not going anywhere from your incompetence. We are not hiding away from your shit. We are going to be here no matter what. You're not scaring all of us off. Not a blimmin' chance. And Man United, you can milk Mason Mount all you want. But at the end of the day, there's a goalkeeper there to be brought. Rasmus Højlund wants to move. Don't you dare tell me from Laurie Whitwell we're not going to give Atalanta what they want. We might not be able to get Onana because of the price, because of the budget and the strain Man United are under. Tell Man United to put their fucking violin away. Stop telling us to get us sympathy for them. They don't deserve it because of the way they treat this fan base. So I hope you're enjoying this weekly transfer segment of the transfer window week 2 with Man United so far in the summer transfer window of 2023. I'm going to leave it there. Hit the like button, the share button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. And to share the video, hit the tweet button, the retweet button. I'm on Twitter at United Red Devils 20 and on TikTok at United Red Devils 20 as well. Go and check them out. Put the notification bell on to see more weekly transfer assessments with Man United so far in this 23 summer transfer window. We'll be back with another weekly assessment next weekend to see what this week holds to Man United and what over the weekend, if anything happens. But if we're not getting Rasmus Højlund and we're not getting Onana, I'm sorry, next season is already over. So I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my weekend. Hope you all go enjoy yours. Forget that club. They're a joke. And I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Thanks for watching. And message United, wake the fuck up. Thanks for watching.